the button.
I keep moving it and they keep moving it back.
Okay, welcome to the Monday Movie Club. This week was a little messed up because originally Joel wanted us to watch Supergirl, Helen Slater from 1984,
4.
four. And then he was like, nobody has to sit through that. And so then he switched it to The Flash from 2023, which is number 4,817.
I was gonna say.
But here, but I was like, I still want to watch Supergirl. Did anybody watch Supergirl?
I might, but I haven't.
Yeah, I think I will. I'm gonna go tomorrow
Have
to
you ever
watch
seen it? Oh, the new movie or the old movie?
The
Yeah,
old one.
both.
Oh, okay.
Gonna do both tomorrow. All right, so I'm off tomorrow, so that'll be lovely. I am Frank Gaffney. Yes, I am. And with us always, Joel Fenster wearing what? What's going on
It's a
there?
it's actually
Somebody's
a
on
hybrid
fire.
shirt. It's got both Dr. Fate and Moon Knight on it.
Oh, okay. Look like somebody was on fire.
That's
Uh,
magic stuff.
Mark Wolters Gardner has a picture up. Look at that. Oh, fuck. No Cringer, but he was just here a
He's
second
right
ago.
here. Right here, totally blocking my keyboard.
And Annie King looking at her phone, I think. What's going
Yes,
on
I'm
there?
trying to see where Supergirl is playing. HBO Max. Okay.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Just so you know,
The old,
there's two different cuts of the film that exist. The
Oh
HBO
God.
Max version will be the theatrical version. Just
Good.
let you
Two
know.
hours and 30 minutes.
It's how long?
2 hours and 30 minutes.
On HBO Max?
Yeah.
so I
That's
guess that's the extended
that's
cut.
the extended cut. That's weird.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that. That's weird. Okay.
Please
I'm
fix it
super.
before I decide to watch it.
I
I
appreciate
ain't watching.
Make a few
Now
calls, Joel.
she said
Well,
2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm like, oh.
Gosh.
Yeah.
that's what time it says, but I don't know which one they're actually showing
Well,
on
the
which.
extended version, the theatrical version, I think ran about an hour and 40 minutes, and I think the international cut runs about 2 hours and 5 minutes. So I don't know what version that might be.
It's
That's
2 hours
Yeah.
and 30 minutes.
Which
All right.
version?
Well, anyway, to the
anyway.
movie at hand, The Flash. Here's the plot from your World Wide Web. Worlds collide when the Flash uses his superpowers to travel back in time to change the events of the past. However, when his attempt to save his family inadvertently alters the future, he becomes trapped in a reality in which General Zod has returned, threatening annihilation. Okay, for a movie that spent nearly a decade trapped in development hell, it actually turned out to be pretty entertaining. I mean, it's your typical movie, might as well be a Marvel movie, overstuffed, and it looks weird in places like an unfinished video game. But it had heart and humor, I and Ezra Miller, who plays the Flash, he carries the film really with his multiple versions of his Barrys. And his performance is good, a little quirky as you would think, but he's no Tom Holland. Sorry. And but he's pretty good. And in the scenes with his mom and that whole thing, I did
Yep.
miss that. But the real secret weapon here is Michael Keaton. Him returning as Batman isn't just nostalgia. He's funny, charismatic, and quite frankly, he steals the movie. Okay, so observations while watching. Okay, it was a very fun question, with fun opening. Asking the question we always ask of the MCU: where are all the heroes when we need them? I love that he was like, and where's this one? And where's that one? And where's the other one? That was great. And we literally hit the ground running. Haha, no pun there, because he's the Flash. Gal Gadot, is that her name? Ben
Gadot.
Affleck and Jeremy Irons all making fun little Gadot.
She's not French. You say the T. She said it specifically. She's Israeli. You pronounce the T.
You
Um,
don't want to piss an Israeli off.
Ha.
not today anyway.
No.
Okay. Uh, and don't forget the tomatoes. Oh, how I wanted that to work. Really.
Sure.
And he kept reminding me of Jimmy Fallon. Did anybody else see that in his face?
I actually can't say.
100%.
I can
Yeah.
see that.
I think I said that in the text.
Yeah. All right. And I actually laughed out loud when he tried to run when he had no powers. That was funny. I mean, he was so geeky and funny and running. And before it came out, did we know Michael Keaton was going to be in the movie?
Yes.
We did.
Well, of course, Joel did.
No,
Well, because they went to great lengths to hide his face in that first scene when we saw him.
no, but it was very public knowledge that Michael Keaton was going to be in the film. Not only in the film, they were using at the time the intention was to use the Flash to softly reboot the entire DCU, and Michael
Right.
Keaton would have become the Batman going forward. So he actually filmed scenes for two other movies, I think. They were cut from Aquaman, and we all know Batgirl just became a tax write-off. So
Right. And so this is then all right. All right. What? Oh, Gringer's there, so now he wants to get Gringer. Okay. And then it turns into a DC version of the multiverse, and you know I'm not a big fan of the multiverse. I think it's annoying.
They even said
But
the
Mi-
multiverse, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did they?
yeah.
But Michael Keaton saying, "Yeah, I'm Batman," it thrilled my Batman loving heart. It really did. I was 31 when Batman 1989 when Batman came out with Michael Keaton, and he absolutely is my Batman. Absolutely. And I thought it was interesting that he waited this long to reprise the role. I guess timing is part of it. But both of his iconic roles, and then he did Beetlejuice. Can a return to Mr. Mom be next? Just wondering. But then his toupee looked ridiculous. I'm like, what the fudge is that thing on your head? And then Supergirl shows up, and that fighting sequence was a little wonky for me, for sure. The just CGI was off. And then adding Zod was like one plot point too many. I love the whole Back to the Future thing and trying to fix things and him dealing with his younger self. That was all fun, but Zod was just too much. And then at the end, I'm like, killing Batman and Supergirl? Why? That seemed like. And then they had to stick in all these crazy cameos. They're like, we got them. Why don't we do them? I'm like, because why? But seeing Nicolas Cage as Superman was pretty funny. I mean, that was one of the, wasn't that, Joel? Wasn't that one of the
Yeah,
ones
that
that
was.
got made?
Well, yeah, I mean, Tim Burton was going to direct a film called Superman Lives that originally had a script by Kevin Smith, but Tim Burton, when he came on as director, they did a complete rewrite, and Nicolas Cage was cast as Superman, and I think they were like 2 weeks away from starting filming, and the plug got pulled completely. So I think that
Well,
the fun part for
it's
me
better
is
than
the
it's
fun
better
part.
than completing the film and getting the plug pulled.
Well, yeah. The fun part for me is if you look at it, he's fighting a giant spider, which is all that producer oh, the hairdresser.
Joel
What's his name?
Silver?
No, the hairdresser.
Oh, John Peters.
Don Peters. That's all he ever wanted. Every Superman script that he was involved in, or any script, had to have a giant spider or a giant robot. Which he finally got into the movie Wild Wild West because there's a giant spider robot. But
Yes.
anyway,
Um, so yeah, so that seemed a bit excessive, all that. And how many times did we have to keep trying to go back and change it? But hugging mom, that was so, oh my gosh. And then, of course, at the very end, the multiverse still changed because obviously then George Clooney shows up at the end. Which was very cute. And what was the teeth falling out? What was that about? Did I miss a plot point?
well, he at one point he when the younger Barry got, they set up the whole thing for him to actually get the powers, and it
Right,
went through the older Barry into the younger Barry.
right,
He lost a tooth
right.
because
Oh,
And then
okay.
he like super glued it back on.
he's stupid. Yeah, so at the end of the movie, it fell out again.
Oh, okay. I
Although I
missed that.
think it might have been the wrong tooth.
That
I
fell out.
think you're right, Joel.
Yeah, I think it was the
All
two
right.
they flipped it.
All right, I'm giving it 3 stars. It succeeds more than it fails. It's funny, fast moving, and enjoyable. I mean, more enjoyable than, unfortunately, its troubled reputation and the disappointing box office. I mean, it really should have done better. It's a good superhero movie trapped inside a flawed superhero movie, like so many of them are. So, yeah, I wish it had done better. Mark, don't you agree with me?
Yeah, I have it in my notes here somewhere that this I have not been a big fan of the DC universe. Um, and this is one of the better ones for sure. And I agree with what you said. It's certainly not perfect. It's a little wonky in places, but definitely with the mom thing. It had the feels. All right, so the collapsing building with the falling babies and Flash going for the food first, I thought was great because you didn't see that coming necessarily. And the Lasso of Truth and Diana's cameo
Well, he
was cute.
needed the food. He needed the food. He
No,
was
I
running
get
out
it.
of
I get it.
everything.
But you think, all right, well, I guess I'll have to wait because I got to get the babies and just runs right by the babies to get the food. I thought it was cute.
That was all adorable.
Yes. And then the slow motion, everything, putting the baby in the microwave. It was fun. It was silly.
It was definitely too much slow motion going on, though. I was like, all right, with this building collapse was too much.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Stella Artois. That's the beers that Barry steals by walking through the wall to have with Iris. It's a Belgian beer. It was one of the portfolio brands when I worked for InBev. It's not a twist off. Okay. So they got that wrong. That's all. Just wanted to say that.
I was like, where's he going with this? Stella, it's
He
probably
came in and
good.
just twisted the tops off. Even the Flash can't do that. You got to pop it. The younger Barry acting like a goofball when he gets his powers is exactly how I'll be when I eventually get mine.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. You'll be
Uh,
an older people.
Especially at 18.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And the 80s movie actor mix up with Back to the Future and this actor instead of that actor. And then the chick burping, I'm Batman, was
Yeah.
absolutely hilarious. And every movie nerd's delight, whatever. And as I started saying, for the DC movie universe, this is one of the best things they've put out in the past decade. Next to, for me at least, the Suicide Squad, Shazam, and Zack Snyder's Justice League, I liked as well. This is right up there with that. The Jack Nicholson laugh in the bag in Batman's cave was a great throwback.
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic. This rips dick before they ejected from the bat plane was a hilarious line. I've never heard that before. I don't know if it is a line. They just made it up, but it was hilarious. And I really enjoyed the prison break of Kara / Supergirl. Because I'm not used to seeing I think I talked about it with Joel when I first saw it like 2 or 3 years ago. We may have texted about it. I was like, why was she that weak? And he was like, because she had been in there for years with no son. I was like, okay, I get it. Speaking of which, Supergirl's kind of hot. Gotta say, too bad they replaced her with the new one, who is not hot. And I was just I was waiting for her to say, "I got you" in return to Barry when she then
We
saved
all
him afterwards.
are.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Wait, no. When Supergirl said, "I got you," the Flash had to
You
say,
got me.
"Who's
Who's got
Who's
you?"
got you?"
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was grateful. That's in my notes. I wanted to hear it, but I was grateful they didn't say
Yeah.
that line because then I would be like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But I did miss it.
The problem I had with the Flash is number one, the silly pose he had to do for like 5 seconds before running every time, thereby making him the slowest, fastest man in the world. I could beat him in the race if you only have a 5-second race. It was ridiculous.
That isn't that the pose, the FTD
You-
pose?
Yeah.
There's no I mean, and Joel can correct me if I'm wrong here because I'm not a DC guy, whatever, but there's no universe that a Flash has to slowly get into place, hold it,
No,
and then run.
they just
It-
take off.
Yeah, it was just silly. And number two, the fact that young Barry can't run like 50 feet without setting for charge that would kill him because he doesn't have a special suit.
Yeah.
That maybe eventually it would, but he literally, when they were fighting with Supergirl and all the Kryptonians, the older Flash was like, "Don't run! You're gonna die." I mean, he literally ran like right over there. It was just I found it a little silly. I did appreciate all the
Maybe
super
he
people.
was just being overly cautious.
No, but it showed him like charging up
Yeah.
already. It was whatever. Anyway, I appreciated all the super people at the end: Christopher Reeve, Helen Slater, Nick Cage. Even though that was certainly not Nick Cage, it was just CGI. of
No,
all
no,
the-
that was Nick Cage. Nick
They
Cage
just
went
de-aged
in.
him.
Yeah, he went
Oh.
in and shot a couple of scenes. One of which
Oh,
he
I thought that
played-
was completely CGI'd.
No, they
Oh.
they brought him in to shoot, and there's a scene he claims he shot that they didn't use. So
Okay,
But
cool.
yeah,
Cool. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention absolutely loving Michael Keaton and everything he did in this movie. He was fantastic. And as Frank said, I mean, I'm giving it an extra quarter star just for him. And just it's a continuation after 30 something years. That was great. Um, and the Clooney cameo at the end was nice. Overall, I'm a fan of the movie. It would get 3 stars, but I'm giving it 3.25 for Michael Keaton.
Cool.
Yep.
Annie Kens, had you seen it before?
I had seen it. I don't remember why I saw it. It was just something I saw one time, I guess. But yeah, I think it was a fun movie. I loved all the cameos and everything, and Michael Keaton was fabulous. And as soon as I saw Michael Keaton, I was like, oh, George Clooney's going to show up too, right? Of course.
Right, we had Ben Affleck, so it
Yeah.
made sense.
Well,
And
because you can't
yeah,
get Val Kilmer.
right. Yeah. So yeah, but like everything that's already been said, it was fun. Parts of it was like, okay, move on. But I think that's true with a lot of these action movies. It's like the fight just goes on and on a little bit too long. But overall, I thought it was a lot of fun. You know, the whole baby scene was cute. And then just the thought of like moving the cans was fabulous. I was like,
Um,
Wait, what are you talking about?
when he goes to buy
Oh, the cans.
tomatoes,
Yeah, the
yeah,
tomatoes. Yeah.
moving the tomatoes. Yeah, but and I guess that didn't affect too much of the past because it really affected the future more,
yes,
right? Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 stars also. It's fun to watch.
They didn't show Annie. They didn't show that in the future because of that. An old lady slipped and fell and died because she reached for the tomatoes too high. So sadly, it did have another effect.
What do you mean? Amy is still here.
Oh,
And she
Hey,
still has
hey,
nice
hey.
cans.
Okay, nice
Of
cans.
course, of course, if I was in an aisle and there was a whole bunch of tomato cans and there was one up there, I would still grab that low one.
No, it looked like he
Uh,
moved all of them.
He moved
oh,
all of
oh,
them.
he
I think he
did.
moved all of them up there.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen this movie in a week. I don't remember. They're taking the Flash's woe is me attitude just a bit far here in the beginning. We get it. When the east wing of the hospital collapsed and all the babies went flying out the window, and Alfred said, "There's a baby," and then Barry responded with "shower," that was adorable. Yeah, I don't even remember that. I
I don't
remember
remember that.
writing it.
Yeah,
There was a
yeah.
baby.
Baby,
Oh,
it was a
because
baby
baby shower,
shower.
and there was a
Shower.
shower of
Baby
babies. So it was,
shower.
I thought it was very cute. The lasso of truth on Batman and the Flash, also adorable. Okay, you really have to suspend belief to think a guy would be convicted of murder when he has the exact clothing and build of the guy on the camera in the can aisle, and that's the only camera in the store. Isn't there only always one by the register? And having the fingerprints on the knife is also reasonable when adding all that together. It was ridiculous. Is this still on this movie? Oh, well, if any of you, is this the right movie? What's the movie oh, yeah, this is because the next, yeah. If any of you know me at all, you know I'm loving that we're not only going back in time, but we also have a bit of an origin story. I love going back in time. As much as I love the humor, I love humor in superhero movies. I wish the writers of this one didn't overdo it. I was thinking of Barry Hattrick the whole time and continually stoop to fifth grade level humor. And by that, I don't mean silly dick jokes, but things like old time Barry falling asleep with the peanut butter spoon in his mouth within seconds, just a lot of sophomoric humor. I'm sorry, this is like a ramble here. I'm not done. Or the phasing, obviously, as an obvious to us even before he tried it, not working, and yet Maud and Barry slamming his head into the wall. I'm like, oh, with this very childish, stupid humor, sophomore. 10 minutes later, I admittedly laughed at "You Know Where It Hurts" in my dick. I do like sophomoric humor, but some of it I don't.
Yeah.
I do really love them fighting over which actors played in which movies, which we
Yeah.
discussed. I do really love them. That came up twice. I just threw my remote when Supergirl was flying up holding Barry and she said, "I've got you," and he didn't respond. You got me. Okay. Sorry, always my stupid. Anyway, I'm going to give it 3.25 stars. I liked it as much more than I thought I would, which I was telling Annie is often the case with a superhero movie. I'm like, I'm not gonna like it. Oh wow, I really like that. I should start watching. I haven't watched any of the DC movies that came out in the past few years, like Justice League and Suicide Squad.
If you watch Suicide Squad, watch The Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
There's two.
And if you're
Right,
gonna watch
right.
Justice League, watch the extended version.
Yeah, Zack
Sure.
Snyder's. Yeah,
Set
it
aside.
is. It is extended. But I will say it is long with a lot of slow motion. And if you have the closed caption on, it has ancient lamentation music every time Wonder Woman shows up. It literally says that.
That's cute.
Oh, slow motion, but it is good.
We
I was,
did watch a, go ahead.
no, go ahead, Amy.
We did watch an extended director's cut. Was it Superman and at least something else? And I did like the longer versions, actually. I remember.
Are you talking about
Superman
Superman
2.
2?
That was one
Yeah.
and something
No, that
else.
was
No,
two.
there was two.
Yeah, that was definitely better when
Because it was
Richard
what's his name? Richard Donner and then
Yeah.
the Richard
Lester.
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 Say it, Richard Lester.
Richard Lester, the molester.
Say Richard Lester, who directed my favorite Musketeer movies.
Yeah.
And
And Hard Day's Night,
A Hard Day's Night, yeah.
which
Among
was
other
great.
things.
Yeah. All right, Jolie. What the hell happened? Because this should have been the start. And
A
then
lot,
James Gunn came in and fucks everything up.
well, things were fucked up before James Gunn came in and fucked everything up.
Right. But they were going somewhere.
Well, they were trying to.
Right.
There's a lot of behind the scenes bullshit that went on that really fucked up the entire concept. Because you had Zack Snyder come in with this vision of how things should go. He
Right.
did Man of Steel, which is a very flawed film, and it's very. I don't think it really captures what Superman's supposed to be. And then it didn't do as well as it did well, but it didn't do as well as Warner Brothers wanted it to do. So they kind of said, all right, the next film, you're going to do a sequel, but it's not really a sequel. We're going to add Batman. We're going to add, cameos from the other Justice League members and use that as a launching pad, the opposite of what Marvel did, where they did this, and then went to the Justice League. We're going to do, I mean, to the Avengers, we're going to do the Justice League, and then we'll split them up into their own movie.
Right. Right.
They kind of headed in that direction, but there was a lot of stumbling. Even, Batman versus Superman, got trounced by critics and fans alike. You got a Wonder Woman film, which is actually pretty good, for an origin story. But it's also separate from everything because it takes place during World War One.
Right.
So, you had a Suicide Squad movie, and they just kept building in weird ways, and it just the entire uh, franchise kept tripping over itself to do this cash grab, and unfortunately, it completely unraveled when Zack Snyder had to step away from Justice League because of the death of his daughter, and Joss Whedon took over, and Warner Brothers basically said, "We want more humor than the darkness." And I think things just unraveled from there. They didn't know what to do after that. It was
Right.
like, all right, we've got, we're trying to make this Flash movie, and as you said at the beginning, it took them a decade to get that Flash onto the big screen. The entire run of the CW TV series took place during that
Yeah.
development period. Um, and you got nice glimpses of Ezra Miller as Barry Allen in, Batman versus Superman, as well as Justice League. He makes a brief cameo in the first Suicide Squad film, and he makes a really interesting cameo in one of the giant crossovers that the CW did for with the Flash and Arrow and Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow, which was kind of fun. I was kind of hoping they'd actually just stick that in the film because it would have been a nice extra touch to the multiverse there. But anyway, it's kind of sad. I think the film tripped at the box office for a variety of reasons. I think that by that point, the concept of superhero fatigue had really set in with audiences. The fact that the DC universe was tripping over itself consistently with the quality of the scripts that they were using for some of the films. We already had The Flash on TV for 9 years. Why are we doing this now? And on
Right.
top of, then you can add Ezra Miller and all of his, personal bullshit that was going on, or their personal bullshit that was going on
Yeah.
during the time. Yeah.
Shenanigans, shall we say.
Yeah. Um, and at that point, DC had been bought by Discovery, and they decided that they wanted somebody in charge like Kevin Feige. They put
Right.
James Gunn and
Which
Peter
made
Safran
sense.
in.
Which
They
made
put
sense.
James Gunn and Peter Safran in charge of the DC studios, and they pretty much announced, "Hey, this is all kind of coming to an end, and we're going to do some sort of reboot. So it doesn't matter whether you see this or not."
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think all of that
But
kind of factored in.
Mm.
But
I think they're making a mistake just throwing everything out.
well, they're not throwing everything out. Obviously, they're throwing Ezra Miller out as the Flash, um,
Ah,
but they're not. So far we've had two TV series and two movies that are part of this new universe, and it is
Right.
very much a soft reboot of sorts. Because there, and James Gunn has even said there are things that happened in those previous movies that we may allude to. They may not have happened exactly how they happened, but that's how they happened. Now, obviously,
So
like
he's creating his own multiverse.
of sorts, yeah, but because obviously John Cena as Peacemaker carries over. Uh,
Right.
Viola Davis as Amanda Waller will carry over when we see her again. So,
And certainly Jason Momoa.
well, no, because Jason Momoa is not playing Aquaman.
Oh no, who is?
He's a
Yeah,
new he's going to be in the universe though, right?
yeah, he's in, but
Yeah.
obviously you've seen the commercials for Supergirl. He's playing Lobo.
haven't we all
Um,
seen Supergirl already? Or
No,
Mark,
No.
you
no,
haven't.
I haven't.
Oh, Mark, Frank, you're seeing it tomorrow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in
Um,
it.
but he's not playing Aquaman. There is no Aquaman that has been cast yet. I mean, they have not cast anybody to play the Flash or Aquaman or Wonder Woman or Batman yet.
Wow.
Well,
So,
going back to this movie, it was
yeah,
also cute when he was trying to find the superheroes. He's like,
yes,
okay, where is this one? Where is that one? Oh no,
exactly.
Yes.
yes,
Which was kind of fun.
that's fun.
I enjoyed the movie. It's the Flash is in the comic books. The Flash is the first of the Silver Age superhero reboots in the 60s, and he's a lot lighter. The entire Silver Age is a lot lighter, goofier in a sense. The Flash has one of the best rogues galleries in comic history after Batman and Spider-Man. They're just very consistent about who they are and what they do. And the TV series actually did some really great modern twists on them. It would have been nice to have seen at least one of them in this film.
Right. And
Um,
not Zod, who is a Superman villain.
right. And or the Dark Flash, who in this case turns out to be a different iteration of Barry himself anyway. Um, the film is a lot of fun. I mean, it starts off with that ridiculously brilliant, hospital scene where we've all said he's catching all the babies and the dog and going for the food and then with the microwave and the screaming nurse and it's just a lot of fun and it's a great way to set things up. And it was great to see Jeremy Irons as Alfred once again because I think he was one of the best things that came out of all those movies. There's a very dry, sardonic character there that's just a lot of fun. And he will be missed, but until we get the next Alfred. Um, having Iris in the film, who was a character from the comic book, seemed kind of pointless. She wasn't there for a lot. I feel bad for the actress because she was cast when they were doing Justice League in the part, and then they cut all of her scenes out of it. So they're only in the Zack Snyder longer cut. Um,
I was going to
and
say it seemed like they were setting her up to have a bigger part maybe in the next movie or
Yeah,
something. But
exactly. And that's
yeah.
the only that's why she was there. She actually thought she was getting recast at one point because they recast Billy Crudup, who played Henry Allen in the Justice League movies with Ron Livingston because there was a conflict with his schedule with the morning show.
Hmm.
So they had to replace him. Um, the stuff with his parents is very touching. It's a great part of his origin story that's been cemented well. The film runs too long. Zod, I kind of agree with you, Frank, but I also think they needed to have something in there that would reground the audience in a story that they had kind of already seen. And since that Zod plan to destroy Earth and turn it into Krypton has been seen a few times in this universe, they needed that to kind of say, okay, this is the same thing but different. But even Michael Shannon had problems, returning to the he didn't want to return until Zack Snyder said it's okay, go do it. Because he had such a great time with Zack Snyder on Man of Steel, but he also felt that there was nothing to the character this time. There was nothing that was
I was just going to say that. Maybe it's because Man of Steel was kind of boring. I thought
yeah,
he was the best part of that movie.
he
And
was.
here, he was just mean mugging. He just
Yeah.
looked mean and did nothing, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's why he feels like he's just kind of shoehorned in there, that they didn't really give him more to do than they could have. I love Sasha Calle as Supergirl. We get this nice glimpse of a character that is different from what we've seen before for the most part. And she would have been Supergirl going forward, but obviously that all changed. Same thing with Michael Keaton, who obviously does steal the show. I mean, the nostalgia factor there is just amazing,
At
and it's
70
great
years
seeing.
old, too.
Yep, it's great seeing him that way, and it would have been interesting to see him going forward as well as the DCU's Batman, as the elder statesman like Nick Fury is in the Avengers movies in the
Yeah,
MCU.
you can certainly see all his wrinkles in his cowl there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he still looked good.
I
He
thought it
still
was
looked
great
sharp.
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
And not just the "I'm Batman" line, but the "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." I mean, that
Yeah.
was a great line in the original. It's a great line here.
He
Um,
must have just had so much fun doing this. I'm so glad he
yeah,
got to do it, and I'm so glad he actually agreed to do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun film. It's a little long. It's an interestingly flawed, brilliant, hot mess at the end of the day. But it's fun. I mean, this is like the third time I've seen the film. Yes, it's like almost 2.5 hours, but like The Flash, it moves pretty quickly. There's
Yeah.
only a
Mm.
couple of spots where it's like it slows down a bit. But it's like the Donner cut of things. It becomes a glimpse of what could have been or where it could have gone. And unfortunately, it's not just the Flash that has that issue. It's also the Aquaman sequel, Blue Beetle, and Black Adam all fell into the same category of this is coming out after it's been announced that these two guys are taking over and they're going to be
Right,
changing things. So why should we bother seeing any of these movies? And there are
right.
great things about each one of them that I think make them fun and interesting. But it's an unfortunate thing that we probably most likely never see any of this the way it should have been. The ending to the film was not George Clooney was a last minute thing. They kept changing the ending because this was supposed to be part of a longer, franchise where these characters would return. So the ending originally had Batman and Supergirl, Michael Keaton and Sasha Calle, alive again as part of the new Justice League going forward. So you would have
Right.
seen them again in you would have seen Batman again in Aquaman, but they cut all his scenes because they were irrelevant at that point. And you would have seen him again in Batgirl as a mentor to her, but that film became a tax write-off. So I'm going to go with Mark and Amy. It's 3.25 for me. It's a lot of fun and it's definitely rewatchable. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, if you do want to watch it, The Flash is on HBO Max. And next week well, some of us already have seen Supergirl in the movie theaters. We're going to the movie theaters. And we'll see if James Gunn is holding up his side of the bargain. I'm
And
Frank.
and 8:40 a.m. showing is the best time to go to the movies.
Nobody was there.
We,
And
we
it
went,
I'm
was
actually
the movie
I'm
was so loud, it was vibrating our seats. It was so loud, so we could scream at each other, and it was just great.
we went
I
to an
actually
11:15 and it was close to that. So
Yeah.
I actually looked at the 12 o'clock show tomorrow, which is the first one, and only 2 seats were sold.
yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, on a Monday at 12,
I'll be
sure.
good.
That's good.
There's a better chance of
Uh,
me turning into Supergirl than seeing an 8:40 a.m. showing of the movie.
Mark, I had to leave here at 7:45 and I just lay in bed for 2 hours thinking, is it 7:45 yet? Can I leave yet?
Okay, that's it for us. I'm Frank Gaffney. Go to the movie theater.
And also kind of with you, sort of.